Okay. All right. We're live now. All
All
right.
right.
We are back for part three, and we'll discuss the Watchtower Charter. The amended one, actually, the one came out in 1945. Because I don't know, I don't think anyone has the original from 1844. I don't think anyone has
Actually,
that one.
I'm going to send you a link with Jumanji.
Hmm.
You may have it. Um, I think I sent it to your message box or
Why,
inbox.
yeah, I got the amended charter. Yeah, I got the one that came out in 45. Yeah, I
Yes.
got, yeah, I got.
There's another link. It's
Hey, how you doing,
um,
Candace?
hi.
Okay. Oh, you got the original one from 1844?
There's a this same website.
Huh?
The same website as I got that 1945 charter. You will
Yeah.
find the all oh a comprehensive list of all of the publications of Watchtower,
Okay.
all the old ones.
I'm gonna share that. I'm gonna share that in the in the chat. I'm gonna share that link in the chat because I do got it. But yeah, go ahead. So let's dig in. Go. I'll let you start off. Go ahead and
All right. I'm
yeah,
uh,
I'm
I'm re-
looking for
I'm
the link
recall
right now.
I'm recalling that at least in 1945. What I was thinking was what we could do is maybe start right from the beginning and just kind of uh, take a look at the information, where it came from, where the charter was registered, the dates, um, um, and just kind of scan over it to see what is actually in this document, who is in the document, the purpose of the charter, the purpose of the watchtower, um, and it's I think 7 pages. Yes, it's 7 pages. I suspect, Jumanji, that you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just looking up the link. I'm trying to get the link so I can put it in the chat for other people to check it out also. I'm looking for the link. I can hear you though.
Okay. I was just
Yeah, I'm just.
live comments. Um, I think I lost.
All right. Give me a second. Um, how you doing, Candace? I see two people in the room. I'm not sure who the other person is, but how are you, Candace? We're going to try to go into the Watchtower and Charter and discuss pieces of it, kind of dissect it. While Penny comes back in, but I'm trying to look for the link that she sent me. You can actually check out the charter for yourself. Let me see if I can put it up. Hold on for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second. Dog, man, this thing. Shit. Oh, all right. Making coffee. All right. Yeah, making coffee. Yeah, I like my coffee black, man. I don't know if anybody else like it. Hold on for a minute. Trying to. I can't get it. I'll come back to it. But anyway, man, before I start, um, I want to share a link real quick. I would like to share a link. I think this will kind of go into the governing body. Let me share a link with you guys real quick. Because what the governing body does is they like to mince words and do semantics, right? So I want to share this real quick. All right, how the governing body differs from a legal corporation. I'm gonna just read this real quick. It says annual meetings of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania have been held since January of 1885, when the ingathering of anointed Christians were underway in the late 19th century. The directors and officers of the corporation had the heavenly hope. In fact, this has almost always been the case. There was one exception. In 1940, Hayden C. Covington, then the Society's legal counsel and one of the other sheep within with the earthly hope, was elected a director of the society. He served as the society's vice president from 1942 to 1945. At the time, Brother Covington stepped aside as a director to comply with what then seemed to be Jehovah's will, that all director and officers at the Pennsylvania Corporation be anointed Christians. Lyndon A. Swingle replaced Hayden C. Covington on the board of directors as Frederick W. Franz was elected vice president. Okay, and again, as explained in one of my videos, as far as corporations go, they will meeting. All right, they must have an annual meeting. This is where they do elect new board of directors. All right, and again, Watchtower has hundreds. I wouldn't say hundreds, but they have multiple corporations. What we're focused on today is the Watchtower Bible Society of Pennsylvania. That's what we're focusing on today. They have different ones. They have the Bible students, the international Bible students. They have the Watchtower Bible Track of New York. They have the Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. They have a couple of corporations, but we're going to focus on this one today. All right. Let me get down. What does it say? The difference between the governing body and the legal corporation. Let me, cause they talking all this yabba dabba. Let me see. They don't even answer. They can't just answer a question. You understand what I'm saying? They cannot answer the question. And I don't feel like reading all this mess, man. Let me see. What is the difference between the governing body and the legal corporation? Okay. All right. So it talks about all the society officers have to be anointed. Okay. All right. At the annual meeting held on October 1st, 1971, on that occasion, one of the speakers pointed out that the governing body of the faithful and discreet slave preceded the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania by hundreds of years. A governing body was formed at Pentecost 33 CE, more than 18 centuries before the Pennsylvania Corporation came into existence. At first, the governing body consisted of not 7 men, but 12 apostles. Evidently, its number was enlarged later, for the apostles and older men in Jerusalem were taking the lead. Okay, so basically, man, let me see something. Hold on, I think. Hey, how you doing, Anna Twink? All right. Okay, she's back on now. All right, let me
I
turn this off.
apologize.
Oh, no problem. Okay, I can't get that. Let me turn my thing back on.
Hello,
I
Anna.
can't.
Hi,
Okay,
Candace.
I can't get the link right now. My computer's going a little slow, but basically, I'm trying to establish a difference between the governing body and the corporation of the Watchtower. Their
Okay.
explanation is that the governing body preceded the corporation by 100 years. The governing body started in the first century. And as you and me but no, Penny, every corporation has a governing body. So all that BS talk is dumb. The Christians didn't have a governing body because they didn't have a corporation. All corporations have a governing body, not just Jehovah's Witnesses. So they talking about it separates no different. The governing body is part of a corporation. You have to have a governing body when you're part of a corporation. All right. I just want to get that down. All right. I'll still try to get the link, but we'll get into the 1945 charter, the amended one of the Watchtower, Pennsylvania. I got it right here. I printed it out. I had it for a minute. Yeah, I had the charter for a minute. But you wanted to discuss it, go into the details of what it is. Now, if you like to clarify, Penny, what is a charter? What is the basic what is the purpose of a charter for a corporation?
The charter tells the courts what their purpose is as
Mm,
a nonprofit organization or a religion.
mm,
And if we just take a quick look at the 1945 charter they have here, it is it states that I, Michael A. Della Vecchia, recorder of deeds, etc., in and for said county, do hereby certify that the foregoing is a true and correct copy of charter. Um, and it's dated the 27th of February 1945. They have a book. It's all registered. The volume is number 70, the page is 171. This man signed it, but it looks like it was done in 1987. If you do you have yours open, Jumanji?
give me 1 second. Let me see.
I can send you the link if you need it.
Yes. Yeah, hold on for 1 second. Yeah, send me the link. Shoot, this is the wrong thing. Let me erase this. So I didn't put the whole Facebook thing. Yeah, send me the link again, Penny. Send me the
All
link
right.
again.
Maybe I can. Am I able to put it in the
Yeah,
chat?
you can actually share your screen. Yeah, go. Yeah, put it in the chat, and then I
I
don't know
think
if
I
you could.
have to. I think I have to go into my email, Gmail. I mean,
Let me see. Hold on a minute.
I'm not able to
Okay,
attach it right
hold on
now.
for 1 second. Hold on. I'll get it. I'll put the link on right now. I got the link right now. It's a PDF, so but yeah, I mean, people can
Right.
find it. If they Google enough, they can actually find it. I just like
Hmm.
to present receipts to anyone who's watching. I like to present receipts to you guys, and if you guys want to look it up, let me see if I can put it on. Okay, there she is. All right. So if you guys go to that link that I put right there, it's a lot, but it'll take you to a PDF where you could download the charter. Okay, that's it right there. That's the link right there. Um, So again, you said the charter is when you apply to be a 501c or any type of corporation, you will send a written charter to the secretary or the court, and they will go over it. And if they approve it, you become incorporated. And
Right.
it's supposed to name the purpose of your corporation and what it provides to the community. Okay,
Right.
so yeah, all right. So what is it that you seen in the charter that you wanted to go over as
Well,
far as the watchtower?
this one here was under the direction of Jonathan H. Knorr,
Uh-huh.
or I'm sorry, Nathan H. Knorr. I'm sorry about that. Nathan
Yeah.
H. Knorr and William E. Van Amberg.
Yeah.
Um, the proper title charter name is Watchtower Bible and Tract Society.
Mm-hmm.
They state here the act, the second article here states the act, which is an act to provide for the incorporation and regulation of certain corporations. It was granted on December 13th, 1884. The third
Okay.
article uh, speaks of the incorporation of said society were duly adopted under and by virtue of an act of the Assembly of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, May 5th, 1933. It's good to keep a track of all these dates because when we think of the dates that they um, I don't know if I should say predicted, but they stated that we should be watching for um, Armageddon,
Mm-hmm.
let's say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, there's a charter. There's a charter dated 1919, 1914. So they're writing these charters and registering them in the courts of the country on the same years as we were expected to see things happen
Mm-hmm.
according to Bible prophecy. For example, Armageddon or the Great Tribulation. right?
Mm-hmm.
If we go down on the second page, just to the fourth article, it gives us the time and date of the meeting. The fifth article, it states the quorum terms and voting shares. The sixth article talks about shareholding members and the date notified by mailing. This is all very legal, and um, um, the seventh article in particular, let's take a look at this. It says a resolution was offered in said meeting to amend Article 2 of the Articles of Incorporation. Said resolution, as offered, reads as follows: be it resolutely by the members of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, being a majority of the members entitled to vote for amendments to the Articles of Incorporation, and that Article 2 of the said article reading as follows: the purpose for which the incorporation is formed is the dissemination of Bible truths in various languages by means of the publication of tracts, pamphlets, papers, and other religious documents, and by the use of all other lawful means which its board of directors duly constituted shall deem expedient for the furtherance of the purpose stated, to be deleted and amended by checking the same. I beg your pardon. By deleting and amending, by changing the same to read as follows: the purpose of this society are to act as the servant of and the legal worldwide governing agency for that body of Christian persons known as Jehovah's Witnesses. This is the Watchtower Charter, saying that they're the governing agency for the body of Christian persons known as Jehovah's Witnesses to preach the gospel of God's kingdom. Notice it's capital G O D S. Well, capital G, lowercase o d s. Kingdom under Christ Jesus unto all nations, as a witness to the name, word, and supremacy of Almighty good Jehovah, capital letters, Jehovah, which I see as a governance here, what we just read. To print and distribute Bibles and to disseminate Bible truths in various languages by means of making and publishing literature containing information and comment explaining Bible truths and prophecy concerning establishment of Jehovah with a all lowercase, capital J, Jehovah's kingdom under Christ Jesus. It's not God's kingdom, as we read earlier. It's Jehovah's kingdom under Christ Jesus. Now, this governance, what they wrote in all capital letters called Jehovah, is under God and Christ Jesus, as it shows above. To authorize and appoint agents, servants, employees, teachers, instructors, evangelists, missionaries, and ministers to go forth to all the world publicly and from house to house to preach and teach Bible truths to persons, listen to this, willing to listen. Persons have to be willing to listen by leaving with such persons said literature and by conducting Bible studies thereon. I'll go back. Children were included in this, okay? But how can a child be willing? They can't give their permission legally. To improve men women, and children mentally and morally by Christian missionary work. So they needed to provide, prove that they improve men, women, and children mentally and morally by Christian missionary work and by charitable and benevolent instruction of the Bible, on the Bible, and incidental scientific, historical, and literary subjects, to establish and maintain private Bible schools and classes for gratuitous instruction of men and women. Notice there's no children here.
Mhm.
In the Bible, Bible literature, and Bible history, to teach, train, and prepare and equip men and women, not children, as
Mhm.
ministers, missionaries, evangelists, preachers, teachers, and lecturers, to provide and maintain homes, places, and buildings for gratuitous housing of such students, lecturers, teachers, and ministers, to furnish gratuitously to such students, lecturers, teachers, educators, and ministers suitable meals and lodging, and to prepare, support, maintain, and send out to various parts of the world Christian missionaries, teachers, and instructors in the Bible and Bible literature, and for public Christian worship of Almighty God and Christ Jesus, not Jehovah God, Almighty God. Do you understand we have some terms here, several different terms?
Mhm.
Now it's about um, for public Christian worship. That would be of Almighty God and Christ Jesus. Continues to arrange for and hold local and worldwide assemblies for such worship, to use or operate radio broadcasting stations for preaching this gospel of the kingdom. The kingdom doesn't have a capital K, it's just kingdom. And to do any and all other lawful things as its board of directors shall deem expedient for the purpose stated. So it has to be within the law of
Mhm.
the country, which is the charter, the constitution. The
Mhm.
foregoing resolution of the said amendment of Article 2 was discussed and considered, and upon being submitted to vote of the members entitled to vote thereon was duly adopted by a vote. So we've already discussed that their objective was to teach or improve the lives of men, women, and children, but the preaching work did not include children. They violated the charter.
Mhm.
They were making children do it, and they were not respecting children's um, inability to consent at all when they violated the charter as it's written here.
Mhm.
Now, I just want, going down a little bit further, I want to skip over this. Everybody can read as they can on
Yeah,
their
yeah,
own.
that's why I
But
put it up there. I just wanted to go over a
yes,
little bit as far
but
as
now go down a little bit and you can see who all is the signing officers in this. This is very important, in my opinion, um,
mm,
when we're understanding who the players are. We've got Charles Taze Russell, William Mann, Maria F. Russell, William C. McMillan, Blundell, Adamson, Joseph F. Smith.
mhm.
Well, Joseph F. Smith, who is that? He's Mormon.
Okay, well, it might not be the Mormon because I'm pretty sure that it's other people named Joseph Smith. Those names you named when they amended this, those people were dead. Uh, yeah, those.
They're this has to be, well, whether they're dead or living, their names would be on it.
Yeah, yeah,
It has to be on it.
yeah.
And so
So.
we can't just dismiss that it's not the Mormon, because we know that if we listen to James Penton, he's an author, historian, a professor who
Mhm,
used to be Jehovah's Witness, uh, and he wrote about the wrote he spoke on Berean pickets.
mhm,
If you want to take a look at that, I
mhm,
sent a link.
mhm. Yeah.
Um, and he spoke about the beginnings of Watchtower.
Uh-huh.
So it does have roots in Mormonism and Millerite movement. So we can't be too quick to dismiss what we're not quite sure about, but we know that those names are here,
Mhm.
and the dates.
Yeah, yeah.
Also,
Uh.
that there were other relatives by the same name who were also Mormon as well. I saw a
Mhm,
family tree uh, is why I'm saying this, because I looked and saw online a family tree
mhm.
of the Mormon founder, and he's got a brother by the same name, and I think
Yeah.
a son. But oh, sorry. So go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wanted. Yeah, they could read the charter on it. What I wanted to do was go through why the Watchtower is a 501(c).
Hmm.
Because there's different qualifications you have to be. The YMCA will be a 501(c). Goodwill is a 501(c), provides jobs and job training. Hospitals are 501(c). Food banks, these things provide goods to neighborhoods. Um, Watchtower, when we talk about the charter, in that charter, that seventh article you just read, what good is it doing for the community that it should be a 501(c)?
They're
And that,
improving the lives of men, women, and children, it says, mentally and morally.
yeah,
They're reforming society, in other words,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. Um, here's
But
the thing. Here's the thing about that. Because and a lot of times this has to do with this fellowship, and also because you have to live up to that charter that we improve lives. So I think a lot of people who dissent and do different things, they got to remove them through this fellowship, and so they can look like, oh, see, we don't have people who rotten eggs. We only
yeah,
liberate them. Now, improving. When we think about improving, that means after, as I think I said a couple of weeks ago, when you improve something, after it leaves that, it's in a better state. When people leave the watchtower, a lot of times they're not in a better state because they are in a place of disappointment, disbelief. It can make you mentally sick because you feel that oh my God, this everything I put my life into is false. So it does not improve a person. If you want to say emotional blackmail, uh, uh, moving somebody to improve to emotional blackmail and not through the just improving them for improving sake, I don't think that's improvement. So they're not even living up to that. You know what I'm saying?
well,
Uh,
I wanted to say also that the doctrine limits education for people. So the children's education is limited. Even
mhm,
adults' education is limited in terms of tertiary education, like university. Um, Also, they're not to know about uh, the politics, local
mhm,
politics, or other political information
mhm. Well,
unless
you
it
you
comes
know,
from them.
it's
Uh,
kind of interesting though when you talk about education, and you think that's why because I know a lot of churches they have a split Sunday school for little kids and things like that, um, and daycare. You think
right.
that's why they had all the children and babies at the minister, what's that, three-credit ministry school. Even though babies ain't understand what's going, they have a short attention span. You crying, disrupting, and then people turn around and look at you because your kids making noise because the meeting's boring, 2 hours doggone long. But oh, keep your kids there. You think that's another reason they did that to live up to that? That oh, see, we have schools and we educating young ones. We don't have a split Sunday school for kids. We do it here. Think that's one of the reasons?
Well, yes, I also feel it's and if you listen to other experts, doing being forced to do something against your will, whether you're a baby, a toddler, or an adult, a youth, a child, an elderly, if you do anything against your will, that is not your will.
Hmm.
And in this charter, it said people willing to listen. You read that?
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
people, persons willing to listen.
Hmm.
All of those children who were not willing to listen, could not listen, and forced to listen, beaten to listen, chastised to listen, terrorized to listen,
Hmm.
is not willing.
Exactly.
That's violence.
Exactly. Here, let me show you this real quick. Let me share this real quick. Because when you're filling out a 501(c), let me share this real quick. You have to meet certain qualifications. Um, See, in order to qualify as a tax exempt 501(c) organization, a nonprofit must exempt for one or more exclusively charitable purposes: religious, charitable, scientific, testing for public safety, literary, educational, fostering or national, international, and prevention of cruelty to animals and children. Um, Here's the thing though, because religious, it don't have to say what religious is. I think the Temple of Satan could be a 501(c) if it's religious, because of amendments in America and things like that. So I think when we talk about 501(c), I think the Watchtower get it because they pose themselves as a religion, even though they're a corporation that gives off books and sells real estates and things like that. Just looking religious will get you a 501(c), and I think that's kind of janky, man. Truthfully, I think that's very janky that you could just pose yourself as a religious group and get 501. You ain't got to do anything for. You ain't got to do nothing for society. Just be religious. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to do nothing for society. Just be religious, or act like come under the guise of being a religious person, produce religious literature, and you get a tax exempt. You ain't got to do nothing for the. You ain't got to do food banks. You ain't got to provide anything. You can shun. You can do propaganda, things like that. You ain't got to do anything. Just be religious. That's one of the qualifications. And put this bogus charter together saying we improve lives, we send people out, we educate from the Bible and things like that. And that's janky to me. You know what I'm saying?
Jumanji, what has to be done is the charter, your country charter, and the Watchtower Charter has to be compared. So whatever the charter of the country states the rights are, and what Watchtower proved that they violated, this is what has to be brought to the court if anybody is objecting. That's why it goes to the Supreme Court where the charter was registered.
Hmm.
You see
Hmm.
how serious it is? So when you disenfranchise children financially, children, when I'm saying children, I mean children who were grown up in it, and we didn't have the opportunity of living to our potential, intellectually, knowing the greater society that we were living in, forming relationships outside the organization. So virtually, um, engaging the brain of children so that they are disenfranchised, so that they do not have the wherewithal to bring this money, power, and education, to bring it to the Supreme Court, to explain how their life was not improved, and how it was um, actually damaged.
Hmm. Hmm. So you think going to the Supreme Court is going to be an answer for the Watchtower Society
Well,
of
this is
Pennsylvania?
where the lawyers are bringing. This is where the lawyers are going. But see, the lawyers like Zalkin, they're talking about certain specifics of privilege that the Watchtower is defending for the JW uh, society, religious body. They're saying that there was. What I'm saying is that those lawyers can't bite the hand that feeds them. They have to talk about specifics and details, which Watchtower knows would have to go. Uh, Watchtower knows that the charter did not provide protection for. How should I say it again? Um, the Constitution or the charter is what gives people freedom. And when the Watchtower under their charter was binding people, especially children, that were not allowed to leave because of the reprisals of losing their family and social network, those reprisals have to be brought to to show that it was approved by the courts, this cult, this society.
Mm.
So when these lawyers are bringing this information to the courts, they actually should be talking about the 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 rights that were withheld from the children as non-consenting.
Hmm. Um, I'm a, I'm a, I'm gonna say
What
this.
they want to do is just take the perpetrators within this society and blame them.
Mhm. I'll say this. I don't think going to the courts is going to really absolve Watchtower Jehovah's as a religion. I don't think so. I'm explaining in a minute. I want to read some of these comments real quick. Not going. I'm explaining why going to the courts. You can go to courts all day and sue Watchtower all day. That's not going to get rid of it. I'll explain in a minute. Um, Okay. Anna Twink, I'm sorry, I'm kind of late. Anna Twink said, never mind, Watchtower. What do you think of Megan and Harry? I don't give a fuck about no Megan and Harry. I don't care
What?
about them motherfuckers, man. They talk about them all day. I care less about them, man. They ain't got the money in my pocket, man. No disrespect
Oh,
to anybody. No, I don't care nothing about them motherfuckers, man. Let me see. Let me see. It said it's observed there was no governing body at Pentecost. Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
Anna.
There was no governing body. Exactly. That's so stupid. And yeah, Christianity, there was different parts of it. That's why they came up with the Catholic Church, which means universal. If they were all together, it would be no need for a Catholic Church. Universal was say we were universal, we're the Orthodox. If everything was united, like Open like to present the united whole group of Christians in the first century and not different parts that split off, there would be no Catholic Church. There would be no need of it. Let me see. Candace Lambert, I don't know if she's here. She said she met Sister Noor. That she met Sister Noor. Um, I would wonder how that meeting would go because they seem like they would be stoic, like the wives of the any governing body president seem like they would be very stoic, like very robotic, because we gotta put up a front for a husband. You represent your husband in that organization. If you're not doing good, that means your husband is up to no good. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Tanya, I think I found this. They said it's Tanya Smith said they just said it's not of God, but of Jehovah, which is saying Jehovah isn't God. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Jehovah ain't no doggone God. Jehovah is anamorphized into the organization. I don't know how you say it, but basically Jehovah represents the organization, man. That's why you leave, they say return to Jehovah. Like, is Jehovah
It's
trapped in
a
that dog
right.
organization?
It's how
Yeah,
it's described as a governance.
yeah.
It's not
So
it's
yeah.
not a God, it's not the Almighty God. In fact, when they use Almighty God in the article before that, they use the Almighty Good Jehovah,
Hmm. Yeah.
and then and the next one they Almighty God.
Hmm.
So they're very clever when they're um, placing these terms in this charter.
Exactly.
And I just wanted to just say that this charter is not, you cannot find these on jw.org. And why?
Hmm.
They must be there. And everybody who was ever baptized must have read this
Yeah.
charter, at least told
Exactly.
about it.
Yeah. Exactly. You have the right to look at the charter, the organization you're a part of. You're right. Yep.
That's right.
You're right. Yeah. So
You have
Candace
to know
Lambert
what
said,
they're representing.
yeah. Candace Lambert said Joseph F. Smith was indeed one name his name of the LDS prophet. Interesting. Yeah. See, I don't, yeah. See, I'm not sure. I'm not into that. I'm not into. I don't know his name or anything else. And he could have been part of the Watchtower Corporation. They all could be, because a lot of them New Age or a lot of them organizations that came from that Millerite, a lot of them kind of had the same similar beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes,
they
you
kind of
had
split up.
mentioned that before, I remember.
Yeah, yeah. They
And
all kind.
James Penton um, also he was a historian, so maybe we could even find out from him
Mhm.
um, what and how Joseph F. Smith fits in.
Yeah.
He's a historian,
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it's very very possible he could have been in
so
there. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to put that link here if anybody
Okay.
wants to take a look at it. I'm putting it in now. You'll find me under Penny Bee Flower. Okay.
All right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Those. Yeah. There you go. And Candace said, "Are the charters still enforced in place? Do they expire?" I don't. I don't think they expire. I think they can
No,
amend
they
them, but
just get
they.
amended.
Yeah,
Yes.
they get amended. Okay. Yeah. She said. She was crazy. Candace Amber said. Sister Nora was crazy. Yeah, I mean, you up there? Yeah, it's gonna make you crazy. I'm pretty sure she drunk and did all kinds of stuff too. Yeah, she probably drunk and everything, So okay. Anyway, man, this is what I'm saying. The courts. I
Listen,
can go
Candace, Candace, did you make us all coffee? Did you make coffee for the whole class? The the
to,
the governing body as well?
yeah. All right. So this is what
Sorry.
this is what I'm saying. Like we can go to the court because as I said before, the Watchtower has probably like 100 corporations. And so when the one 501c dissolves, what happens to the assets of that corporation?
That's in the charter too.
Okay.
Those are all things that are in the charter.
Okay. Let me
James Penton talks about that too. He's
okay.
on Berean Pickett's. Eric Wilson actually interviewed him just
Yeah.
recently. It's amazing.
Yeah. All right, let me share this. This is from a this is from a attorney's website or like a lawyer website. But I want to show you what happens when a 501c is dissolved. This is what they say. Real quick. All right, here we go. What to do with money when dissolving a 501c? Okay. And so we can dissolve the Watchtower Bible Tract of Pennsylvania. To qualify for 501c status, the organization must operate exclusively for religious, charitable, science. Okay, we already know that stuff. All right. Resolving debts. When a nonprofit decides to dissolve, the first thing it must do with its assets is satisfy all of the outstanding debts and liability. If the directors of 501c3 are keeping good records, they should be aware of the outstanding debts of the organization. To ensure that the organization settles all the debt, they may consider contacting any organization or individual with whom the 501c has recently done business to inquire if any outstanding financial obligation exists. Okay. After dissolving 501c settles its debts, it may not transfer any remaining funds to shareholders or board members of the organization. When a 501(c) organizer, it must include a provision in its charter defining how it will distribute any leftover assets when it's dissolved. Generally, it must donate any remaining funds to another organization that has a similar mission to its own. All right, here's the thing. Prior to transferring cash to another charitable organization, dissolving 501(c)(3) must do some due diligence and take some procedural steps. First, the dissolving 501(c)(3) must acquire information regarding the recipient organization governing structure, its financial reports for 3 years, a copy of the recipient's IRS letters of determination, and the affidavit of the recipient's board stating the recipient is tax exempt. Okay, so basically, when a 501(c)(3) is dissolved, it must transfer all assets to another corporation that is just like it. And so, as I said, the Watchtower has many different corporations. So if you dissolve one, all we'll do is transfer it to another one within the Watchtower, and that's all they're going to do. They constantly create new corporations. So if the Watchtower of Pennsylvania is dissolved, all they do is transfer their assets to the other corporation. And so when we go try to sue the organization, we might sue the wrong corporation because that corporation doesn't have any assets.
Mm-hmm.
We got to find out which one they went to. And that's why I say we can go to the court all day. But the Watchtower, they good at transferring these funds. And I don't believe anyone's keeping track of where the money is going. You know what I'm saying? You can send it overseas. All you have to do is report annually what your stuff is doing. You just report annually. I don't think there's any watchdog within the Watchtower saying how much money is coming in or anything like that. You can report it on a 1099 or whatever it is you have to report to IRS, but you do that yearly. Even Goodwill, I think Goodwill, one of the it's not CEO, but one of the directors got caught for getting
Yes, I
millions
remember
of
that.
dollars. Yeah. And no one was caught out because these 501(c)(3)s they have no watchdog in that. We would just assume that they're doing what they're living up to.
So, as Jehovah's Witness growing up, um, as children, we were taught to be truthful and honorable and everything else that goes with that. Um, but how can a leadership who does not even go by those principles
Hmm.
be acceptable to any elder, even who's operating within a congregation within the parameters of the Watchtower leadership?
Hmm. Well, you just put yourself on the divine status. Call yourself anointed. Say you're Jesus' brother. Kind of put yourself in the meter status, and your followers will overlook any small thing you do. You know, it's easy to get people who look at you as divine. We don't want to because it's like even some parts of the Bible put it like if you what do you call that? If you go against one of my anointed, you're going against me.
Oh,
And so when you use the Bible kind of
yes, but
it's,
the Watchtower's charter is not the Bible.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not.
yeah. But I'm saying that
Right.
they use the Bible as its principal thing as far as the religious body goes, and so we get away with things because we got people believing in the Bible so much that they don't want to do anything to please God, and so we can get away with stuff. You guys can't, but we can because you know what? No one's imperfect. No one's perfect, but that same principle don't apply to us. You would never see a governing body go into a doggone judicial meeting. You'll never hear that. Even if you speak about, even if you're in a car group and I speak about something that the governing body is doing, what somebody gonna say? Oh, we shouldn't be critical of those taking the lead, but they can gossip about you all doggone day because you're not that status. What's going on, 007? Thank you. Um, Yeah. Oh yeah. Latanya said, of course he's drunk. Well, yeah, you have to, man. You have to do something. If you're in that position, I don't believe we as humans were meant to be ruler of other humans. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we are as far as a whole group of people. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe we were made that way. Every time you have a star power, it goes to your head. It can affect you. That's why a lot of child stars they go to drugs and things like that because they weren't built for that. You know what I'm saying? We
That's
weren't built for
right.
that. Yeah.
That's what I was that's my whole deal when it's with about children. Children can't be dealt with the same way as adults are treated.
Hmm.
They can't be. It's not proper.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
um, let the adults, you know, die not taking even their own blood
Hmm.
back in when they're giving birth, or let those adults do. But don't drag those innocent people that are now trying to just make it through life because
Hmm.
they did damage mentally and morally and physically. People were trying to just stay alive. Children were just trying to cope
Hmm.
within the parameters of their own family, never mind of their this religion or society, because
Hmm.
it's not religion, it's
Hmm.
society.
Yeah. See, and I believe that I believe you should prepare your kids for adulthood, little at a
Absolutely.
time. But Joe Witness kids are not prepared for adulthood because you're not going to grow up in the system. Well, I'm preparing you for adulthood if you're not going to grow up in the system. You know what I'm
They were
saying?
set up to fail,
Yeah, yeah,
Jumanji.
yeah.
They were
And that's
set up to fail.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So how's that improving lives? Like, how's serious? How's that improving lives?
And
Here's another.
how are you even going to achieve the place to complain about it?
Hmm. Yeah, you can't complain. Yeah, you better not complain. Yeah, you better not complain at all. Here's the thing, also, man. The Watchtower was incorporated when 1844. The Watchtower was incorporated in 1844.
Somewhere around there.
Okay. Now, didn't they believe the war was going 1874? Why,
Yes,
if the war was going to end in 30 years, why are you incorporating your charity?
that's right.
Yeah, but nobody questions that stuff. Okay, the war is going to end in 30 years. Why the hell? Why am I incorporating something? This war is about to end.
They were
Why am I
busy
doing
in the
anything?
That's right. They were busy in the courts registering these charters when Armageddon was supposed to be coming.
Yeah, nobody think about that stuff. Like, come on, how many years been to come? So why are we doing all this? Okay, and they finna make this big studio supposed to come out in what 3 or 4 years?
Yes,
Okay, so that means that Joe Witness, if you're watching, the war is not ending in 3 or 4 years. You still got 3 to 4 years in the system because Watchtower finna make a studio in 3 to 4 years.
look
If
at
they
all the
believe,
families. Sorry.
yeah, no, I'm saying if they believe the war is gonna end in 3 4 years, you ain't got 3 4 years to make the studio. So
Yes,
yeah,
and look
yeah,
at all the families that were derailed,
mm-hmm,
Jumanji.
yeah,
Absolutely derailed. Now
mm-hmm,
we're up in age, we've got elderly parents, and there's total discord in our families.
mm-hmm,
Then what?
exactly, yeah,
Is that so the government can monopolize on the people who finally have a pension? What about us? We're not even going to have a pension.
hmm,
Then
yeah,
what?
that's crazy, yeah, because you say they all window washers, right? Do window washers have pensions?
I just saw a window washer. I just saw a window washer when I was warming up at my hairdresser's.
Uh-huh, yeah, you
And
told
I
me.
stopped him. I said, "Are you a Jehovah's Witness?" He said, "Yes." He said, "How do you know?" I said, "Because you're a window washer." Yeah. So I had an awesome opportunity to tell him my personal truth. He couldn't run away. He was pleasant enough, but he was very uncomfortable. He couldn't
Hmm.
run away because, he hadn't gotten paid yet. And
Hmm.
the woman who owns the shop, she
Yeah,
kind of wanted to hear what was going.
yeah, yeah. They care more about what unbelievers think than you. Um,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Look, Anna Twink said, she told some witnesses at the door about the ARC. She said they got angry when I asked about an elderly sister with Alzheimer's whose family are looking after her. So I found out
Hmm.
they family has banned the witnesses from visiting. They
Oh,
insist the witnesses would care for her if she had no family. I said no, the state would. Exactly. Exactly. And that's ridiculous. The state would care for you, but you guys are 501(c). So what is this money doing? What is this money, this tax-free money doing to benefit society?
Well, look at this here thing that I found. This Charity Intelligence Canada.
Hmm.
This here is an organization that helps people to invest their money in charities, and
Hmm.
Watchtower is in it. It's in
Hmm.
it. I'll
Yeah.
um I'll post the link here too. You can look at it.
Hmm.
Um, there says that under Watchtower, it says that they're to provide um, relief of man-made or natural disasters, right?
Hmm.
They have actually created a man-made disaster with within the by derailing the families.
Hmm. When they do, okay, I know the Watchtower. They brag about how they do provide some witnesses houses, but doesn't that still belong to the organization? Those houses.
There were some, yeah.
Yeah,
I,
yeah. Even the houses they give and the cars they give to the circuit overseer. Those ain't the circuit overseer cars, man. Those are loaned out to you. Even the stuff they provide, it's not. It's still within. You're using that. They give an apartment to the circuit overseer, or they give a car to the circuit overseer. When those circuit overseers lose it, do the circuit overseer take those cars with them?
oh no, I
No,
don't think so. No,
no. They sell those cars. They
yeah.
sell them. Yeah.
I've seen websites where they're auctioning off vehicles, machinery,
Mhm.
all kinds of things, tools, uh, building equipment, scaffolding, all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I knew one guy. He actually bought one of the cars from Circuit Overseer. But see, even when you talk about they auctioning off those material and that hardware, which corporation is they send us assets to? We don't know. So if they're in court, like say that New York is New York, or say any state is suing the Watchtower, Pennsylvania. They're not putting, even I don't know if you was going at the time. I think it was 2012 something, and they made an
Mm,
announcement on the platform. If you make any donations, make them out to the Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. Do not make them out to the Watchtower Society. I remember that vividly now, and I'm like,
yeah.
yeah. And so it makes sense now that after a while they come out and say, okay, if you're making checks, make them payable to this. So you could sue this corporation over here. But
Yeah.
guess what? That corporation only got like $1,000 in it. Oh yeah, we just use that to print stuff. Meanwhile, you ain't got to pay for printing because you have volunteers to maintain those, and you have your own printing.
Um, when I looked at a website, the Canadian um, Committee on Christian Charities, they uh, you just said something that I wanted to talk about, and it disappeared. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh man, yeah, yeah, that happens to me too. That's why
I
sometimes when
have
you
a
talk,
couple
I'm
of
like,
things in
man,
my
I gotta
mind,
come
and then
here.
I
Yeah,
put one on the back, and then oh, I
yeah,
can't get
you
it.
forget
Okay, it'll come back
you
somehow.
forget it. Yeah, you forget it. Uh, let me. Okay, while you think about that, I hope I. That's why if you have a pencil, I would jot it down. As soon as something comes on, I'll jot it down what I want to talk about. Okay, let me share this. While you think about that, let me share this real quick. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. While
Latanya,
you think
hello.
about,
Hi.
yeah, while you think about thinking. Okay, here we go. Let me.
Latanya, when I spoke to the window washer, it was awesome. I almost put in an hour of field service that
Yeah, you could turn those in.
day.
You can turn the time in to
I
me.
can put my time
Uh,
in.
yeah, you turn it into me. Just send it through the messenger.
So the time that we put in being slave to witness for the, I don't know what we were witnessing for, but anyways, this United Nations governance that they're trying to institute, I guess. And I told him
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I said, just look into who this Jehovah is, because the watchtower will tell you who this Jehovah is, and it's a governance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy, man. It's like, that's like, okay, and we running around talking about Jehovah's the true God. No, Jehovah's the I'm talking about. New corporations form. January 15th, 2001, issued a Watchdog reported on an organized way in which Jehovah's Witnesses continue to move forward the kingdom work. New corporations are as follow: Christian Congregation Jehovah's Witness, Religious Order of Jehovah's Witness, Kingdom Service, Kingdom Support Services.
religious
These will op
order of these are orders. Like that sounds like
Yeah,
Catholic orders.
yeah. But see, look,
We're,
it says these will
we're
operate
not,
along
we're
with the
no part of
Watchtower.
the world, right? We're no part of the
Yeah,
world. We're not nothing like the world, right?
yeah, nothing like the world. Yeah,
The
exactly.
Jehovah's
We're nothing like the
Witnesses.
world. Yeah. Well, no, when you say nothing like the world, that means the rank and file. The governing body is exempt from all this stuff. They over all this. So these will operate along with the Watchtower Bible Tract Society of Pennsylvania, Watchtower Bible Tract Society of New York, incorporate congregations. So why do you need multiple corporations if they all doing the same doggone thing? Because this one got sued. And so now we need to create three more. That way, if somebody found out about this, it would just move it over here. This is what I'm trying to bring up. This is what I'm bringing up. Why is they keep creating different corporations, man? What you creating this for? What are you creating these different ones for if all you need is that one corporation? The Watch Out Pennsylvania. What is these other ones doing so different? What does their charter say? Yeah, anyway, I don't know. You thought about what you I know okay, so yeah, so
Sorry,
and three
I was typing a message. I
yeah,
can't do two
okay.
things at once.
Oh yeah. Oh
They
yeah,
improved my life too much.
yeah. And Ching said, I'm
I
more
can't
enthusiastic
chew
about my
gum and
anti-witness.
breathe and type at the same
Oh, Penny, that's not good. You gotta practice these things.
time. I know. I'm trying.
Yeah, you gotta work on your sense stress, and repetition.
And modulation,
Yeah,
emphasis.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, your emphasis. All right, so yeah, Antoine said I'm more enthusiastic about my anti-witnessing. You believe it more, and it's more, it's something that you came up. It's not indoctrinated. I agree with Antoine. Well, I'm more enthusiastic. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'll
Now
go
that you're not in.
door anti-witnessing, but I'm more enthusiastic. I'll do incidental anti-witnessing. You know what I'm saying? Pioneer anti-witnessing. It's crazy. Yeah, Latanya says she loves you, Penny. What about me?
Is
Nobody,
that
nobody loves
no? Nobody loves. It's your show.
yeah, that's good. Well, Jehovah loves
Latanya,
me.
you're
Jehovah
making
loves
me look
me.
bad. You're making me look bad.
Yeah,
I
no,
won't be able
no.
to keep my job.
Hey, Jehovah sent the sun down. He loves me. Yeah. So let me see. Yeah. Antoine says they create these to funnel money into let me see. They create these share. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly that, Antoine. That's what I think they're doing because like no reason to create more than one corporation. If you're going to just amend it, why you create these other corporations? Why you doing that? In order to protect
Anna,
their money. That's all.
why do you think? Why do you think Putin kicked their asses out of there? Because they're laundering money. It's virtually,
Mm-hmm.
essentially, laundering money.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep. Um, and even when he kicked them out, or even when he banned them, the Watchtower is
Exempted.
more concerned about the assets. The Watchtower is more concerned about the assets than the individual witnesses over there.
Right.
They didn't. Yeah,
Absolutely.
they
It's
didn't. They didn't.
that was very obvious.
Yeah, they didn't lobby for the witnesses, or they lobbied for them doggone kingdom halls.
And when
That was
they're
a
in
lot of money
prison,
they lost.
and when they're in prison, They're happy that they're in prison.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to be even in
Mm-hmm.
prison. But those people
Mm-hmm.
don't realize that they're just the lackeys for the governing body. So the governing body doesn't have to get their ass shut in jail. It should be the governing
Mm-hmm.
body that's in jail.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly. I agree.
Absolutely.
I totally agree. Yep. I agree. Said Latanya Smith said they have many to hide their they have many to hide their blood. Huh.
Well, are you there? Oh, mm, I think we're frozen. I'm frozen.
Oh sure. Okay. Yeah, I pushed the wrong button. Cut
Oh,
myself
okay. I
off.
thought it was me.
Oh yeah, no, I was looking at something. Cut myself off. All right. So let me see. Well, what else? Anything else in the charter you wanted to discuss? I think
Oh,
I've kind of.
yeah. I wanted to go to the last page for some reason.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so when you were talking about how monies are divided and money is dealt with, it's here.
Uh-huh.
I find
Okay.
this print
Uh,
very difficult to read, but um, other than that, if you can get through the font,
yeah.
I went to the end. With I think there's 7 pages. Here's the last page here.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to take a quick scan to see what it was that caught my eye. Well, can I just bring something before um, that charity, that Canadian charity link that I posted? If anybody clicks on that, just take a look and see what they called it. It's called Watchtower and Tract Society. They didn't even put the proper name that this watchtower was, or this charter was named either. Words are very important
Mm.
in law, and
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
there it's very clever how they even worded this. Um, so I mean, they have a lot of money to spend on lawyers,
Mm-hmm.
but about that Charity Intelligence Canada, their
Mm-hmm.
logo, it's their logo, the watchtower announcing Jehovah's Kingdom, all in capital letters. That's the logo, and then the term Watchtower and Tract Society of Canada. That's not what we understood it was called, but they've done it
Uh-huh.
like that here for some reason,
Yeah.
for good reason.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Watchtower is that surveillance? Yes, of course, because they have lobbied the right to surveil, to go to people, take down information, find out this, find out that, right? They can have all that information just by going to somebody's house. That's surveillance. Then the Tract Society of Canada, this is publishing, this is media. And even in the charter that
Mm-hmm.
we were reading, it says that they can use radio and other technologies
Mm-hmm.
to publish. Message.
Mm-hmm.
What message? Whose message? Does the message keep changing? Yes. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why is the charter amended so many umpteen times? Because
Mm-hmm.
every time the law changes, then they have to change the charter.
Mm-hmm.
This new light that they have, this new light is change in the law, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's all about
Mm-hmm.
law. Because the
Yep.
children would be protected if they used the principle that Jesus used, that the children
Yep.
have to have to be shown who Jesus is, but they don't have to be tortured into loving or knowing him like Watchtower has.
Hmm. Hmm. Yep. Yeah, that's why they try to eliminate Jesus because Jesus was really he really taught a message of forgiveness and things like he was kind of fiery at times, but a lot of times if they really lived up to Jesus' word, his fellowshipping, shunning all that ignorant stuff, it goes against what he was trying to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Um, yeah.
I was at the if anybody wanted to chime in about we're at the and I think I included the link if you wanted to click on it for this charter if you wanted to follow along. But if you see
Yeah.
something
What
that
part?
interests you,
Yeah. What part of the charter you said they did with the? You said something about the assets. So what part of that?
oh,
What
I
part was
think
it?
we're closer to the fifth or sixth page. Um,
Well, like, is it 30? Because they got different parts. They got 13, 14. Let me see.
yeah, they're articles. They're called articles that are numbered.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When
Which
it says
article?
11th or 10th,
Yeah, yeah,
um, the article is in printed letter form, full
yeah,
word.
yeah,
I'm at
yeah,
11.
yeah, yeah.
I'm at 11th article, and then here you'll
Okay.
notice that each Roman numeral that's the section.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
So that. Yeah. So
so
vacancies.
here's 12th article. A resolution was offered to said meeting to amend Article 1 of the incorporation. So where's I'm just quickly scanning to see where it talked about money. Oh, I would totally recommend that you guys go to James Pendleton and listen to what he has to say. He's on Facebook too.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Hey,
oh, here it is.
what's going on,
Here it is. I'm sorry.
Colin Talk?
Eighth
Okay.
eighth article. Now, after
Oh,
the
okay.
signing officers' names, then you can see on a
Okay.
non-stock basis. Okay, so read through that about the money. It's 11.
The eight. Oh, you said the eighth article.
I see eighth. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, eighth down.
Okay. It says a resolution is offered to said meeting to amend Article 3 of the Articles of Incorporation. Said resolution is offered reads as follows. Be it resolved by the members of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, being a majority of the members entitled to vote for amendments to the Article of Incorporation, that Article 3 of said articles, reading as follows. The place where the business of the said corporation is to be transacted is the city of Al- Allegheny. I
Algonia,
don't know how to pronounce it.
Pennsylvania.
Allegheny,
Hmm.
okay, in the country of Allegheny, and state of Pennsylvania. Be deleted and amended by changing the same to read as follows. Article 3, the location and post office address of the register office of the society is in the city of Pittsburgh, county of Allegheny, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Yeah, these words are like typewriter or something. The foregoing
Common
resolution for Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Yeah, they must did was typewriter because some of these words is off. The foregoing resolution for the said amendment of Article 3 was discussed and considered, and upon being submitted to vote of the members entitled to vote thereupon was duly adopted by a vote of more than the majority of said members who voted as a what does that say?
class.
Oh, class. Okay, it's either like an O. The total number of voting shares or shareholder members of the corporation in good standing at the time of said meeting was 232,266. The total number of voting share or shareholder members appearing in person and by proxy was 225,305. The total vote upon the foregoing resolution was separately offered and adopted was 225,302. Okay, so obviously, yeah, that's a lot of shareholders they have. Um,
Yeah.
that's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot, but it has to be majority vote. And even that that what you
Are
saying
all of
Pennington
these people Jehovah's Witnesses?
in 1945 was they all anointed back then? Because when they supposed to be anointed, isn't that what they said? That guy stepped down because he wasn't anointed. I don't think they were
Well,
all.
then anybody's going to say they're anointed if they want some money coming out of this
Yeah, yeah,
organization.
yeah,
Funniest, yeah.
yeah. So it looked like they changed that article. Talk about they changed the address. That's one of the things I seen. They changed the address. Albany, Pittsburgh. Um, yeah, yeah, they
Pennsylvania.
got yeah, Pennsylvania. So yeah, they have voting shares, and
The governor
you don't think all those
here.
are
Sorry.
you don't think all those are witnesses? You don't think all those voters are witnesses? Because when you have a board of director, they all have to go with the mission. And so I would believe that in order for the corporation to keep going on, everyone has to have the same mindset. You have to be indoctrinated to really believe this is a thing. And so if somebody came out of the world and wasn't with the mission, I think a lot of times they wouldn't go along with, they wouldn't listen to the governing body because who the fuck is y'all? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm the board of director. You guys don't run nothing. I'm the board of director. And it's gonna be so I think you have to be on point. I think a lot of them have to be on point. So I do think they were all witnesses. I do think they were all witnesses. I mean, that's just me. I might be wrong,
Well,
but I think you
yeah. And if they weren't all witnesses, say they were, okay, I'm just going to throw it out there. Say that they say some of them were part of the Freemason
hmm
um, society, because that's a society. This is a society. Who's going to prohibit anybody from being more than one in one society?
hmm
Are
exactly.
there any are
Skip,
there any restrictions? I didn't see any, but maybe there is something here. I didn't read
yeah,
it.
yeah, they are the. I think they're restrictions, but they don't really. Just like when you go to Kingdom Hall, some of the restrictions and bans are not written down. It's part of it's part of the culture. You know, like beards. It's not gonna say you can't wear beards, but it's part of the thing. So I think some of the restrictions were not written down. Is when what do you call them? Bylaws. In the
Actually,
bylaws and
they
things like
can
that.
make their own bylaws even.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
it's
yeah. So I
here
think
too.
yeah, so yes, yes. I think the restrictions are sometime in that. Skeptical
Yes.
Mantis, I never see him in here. Said down with the Watchtower Corporation. Again, Skeptical Mantis. The Watchtower has many corporations, so we have to say down with all of them, not just one. We say one, all they're gonna do is go into the other one. So we have to find out how to get all of them down.
Well,
All right.
their powers have to be limited. Some
Mm-hmm.
there have to people have to actually um, start talking about the power that the corporation really has. Because if
Mm-hmm.
they have all the power and all the money, then there's no stopping them. And the courts can be bought. It looks like. Look at Montana. I was watching Kim
Mm-hmm.
Mikey, and Kim was suggesting that maybe the judges are being paid off. Watchtower is not going to stop at anything. They can do. Oh, that's what I wanted to look for. I read something to the effect that they can do anything that appears to be lawful,
Mm-hmm.
even appears to be lawful. Oh, I forget the terminology they used. It's very important, so I shouldn't just throwing it around. But what I did read is that they do have the power um, to publish and do. I'm on page, gosh, on page 3, seventh, page 4 in the top. Um,
Oh. Yeah, I don't have I
sorry.
don't have the page number. I got to tell me you got to tell me what article number because I printed it out, so I don't have the page number on here.
Oh,
And
I
then the
I
way they
opened
typed
this
it,
up in Firefox, and it shows actually on the Firefox. It shows on the
oh, okay.
Firefox PDF. Oh. what
Oh, okay.
pages.
Okay.
But you're right, these pages don't aren't numbered. They might be numbered
Yeah,
in
they
the registry book.
yeah, I think they number online because they the line tells you what page it is. So what article is that? What article you read from? The you still on the eighth one or the
Um,
ninth?
I was at eighth.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Candace said she thinks some non-witnesses are hired for marketing and business consulting and they're compensated. Yeah, I believe so. I believe they are. But as far as being on the board of directors, I think they all have to be witnesses. Um,
Well,
I think they all have to be witnesses.
anybody could be a witness at that particular time. Even
Yeah.
now,
Well, you have to.
look at
It's kind of like a circuit overseer. You have to have a certain loyalty to be in that position. So I believe it'd be the same thing to be on a board of directors because they vote you. The board of directors votes who's going to replace another board of directors. So all of them have to vote for a new board of directors. It's not just you can't just go there and say you have to get voted in to be a board of director. And so
if
I
you
think
go
you have
down
to
to the
be
10th, if you go down to the 10th, sorry, if you go down to the 10th article near the bottom of the
okay.
page, you will see that it
Yeah.
says about the directors.
Uh-huh.
It tells you that they have the authorities to sell real estate and personal property owned by the society, borrow money
Mm-hmm.
for the society to hold meetings. Down, down, down. It says carry into execution such other measures as they say as they may deem proper and expedient to promote the objects of the society and to protect the interest and welfare of its members and to
That's
do
bullshit.
any and every useful thing for the good government and support of the affairs of the society. The following resolution for the said amendment of the Article 7 was discussed and considered and upon being submitted to vote of the members entitled to vote thereon was
Let me let
duly.
me let me say something about the interest and welfare of its members. That's BS, man. Um,
Well, think about who the members are. They're not the women and children. They're not the unbaptized men. They're only they're only watchtower in the congregations. The only watchtower staff is the elders and ministerial servants.
oh, okay. So you're saying that when this charter
And
written,
this is
it doesn't have the the publishers in mind. This is talking about the officers
these are
and
the
the board of directors.
officers. That's
Huh.
right. So they're very
Okay.
well protected.
Hmm.
So if I'm
Okay.
going out
What they living up to then?
knocking on doors and a dog comes out of somebody's house and bites my leg, say, I'll be
Yeah.
protected because I was in service at the time. But
Well, no, because
if
you no,
I,
they're gonna pay your hospital bills. They're not gonna pay your hospital bills or your lawyer fees, anything like that. You on your own.
right,
Yeah. So
but,
yeah, you're not protected.
but the watchtower can get damages for one of their own
Hmm.
getting persecuted, say.
Hmm. Anna Twink said the original Watchtower board director were five women. That sound right to you, Penny?
Oh, say that again.
See, I don't know.
Something got
She
cut
said
off.
the original. She said the original board of directors of the Watchtower was women, were five women.
Are you talking about Maria? I mean Maria, um, the wife of Russell.
What do
She,
you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, Anna? Twink, the five women of the original Watchtower board of directors.
oh, Maria F. Russell is named here. She was a
Okay.
woman. Oh, I
Hmm.
see what you're saying, Anna. Yes,
So they
these
could
people
be
could
board
be
of directors, but they
women.
can't be elders.
Well, they
Wow.
could, women could
So
be
it's hypocrisy.
144K. They could, yes.
Okay, so that means that they make decisions. 'Cause board of directors make decisions for the organization, the corporation. Board of directors make decisions for corporations. They decide where the income and assets and everything. They vote for who the new any corporation. So women in the Watchtower Corporation can make decisions, but they can't be elders. That's hypocritical.
Hmm. They couldn't
So
serve
it
in
seems like
they couldn't serve they couldn't be part of a judicial committee either,
yeah.
even though the
But
Bible
this
talks about judges being women.
yeah. So this kind of tell you that Russell had a whole different view than Rutherford because Russell obviously was not as strict as Rutherford as far as how the organization.
If you listen to James Penton, he'll tell you that uh, Judge Rutherford wasn't a very happy person.
I watched that one. I watched that one and the hypocrisy of that man. You know him
Hmm.
building a house that one supposed to carry all those patriarchs, but it's like what imagine you know. But anyway, yeah, I seen that, but it's like yeah, it changed the whole atmosphere changed after this Rutherford cat came around. Yeah, dude was on a power
But
trip.
he was the
Yeah,
lawyer. He was a lawyer.
yeah, lawyer. Yeah, but yeah,
And
they call him a
he
judge.
could pull some strings.
Yeah, but they call him a judge. Like what? Dude's a lawyer, man. He ain't no doggone judge.
Well, if he wanted to serve on a committee, he could be called judge.
Yeah. But they thought he was a doggone judge or a book salesman.
Well,
Yeah, that said, women can't even hold a microphone. Exactly, can't even hold a microphone.
no.
Yeah, well, yeah. When they when they giving talks on the platform, they can hold it just to talk to it. Yeah, when they giving talks on the platform. Yeah. Said with Maria having looked there with women on the original trustees. Yeah, yep. Crazy man. Yeah, things have changed though. You know what I'm saying? What we're looking at now is Rutherford's vision. You know, if Charles Russell came back, I don't think he would approve of what he sees today. Not saying he's Jesus or nothing, but his original vision is not what Rutherford put into place. And everyone who came after Rutherford really emphasized this thing. What Rutherford did in moderation, all the um, ones that came after him did in excess into what we get today. Um, yeah. Answering you right. I think Rutherford took over and changed it. Yeah, I think he did because he wanted the society to look totally different from what Russell left behind. Dude had it in for Russell or something, man. He was really laughing in his face, but truthfully, I don't think Rutherford liked Russell. I don't think he liked him the way he acted when
Uh,
he did.
yeah, that's what Pendleton or James Penton had uh, stated. There was
Yeah,
animosity, uh,
yeah,
and
yeah.
when they had animosity, it was business.
Hmm.
Come on, business.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you gotta put that good face on, but behind closed doors, y'all arguing and going to blows and all this other stuff. But in public, yeah, look like you good. Yep. Oh man.
Anna said, "Penny, no
Yeah,
human can do two things properly at once." That's right.
yeah,
Everybody talks about
that's right.
multitasking. Oh, she's talking about
Yeah, yeah.
chewing gum and breathing at the same time. Anna,
Man, if
you're
you
not
can't chew
nice.
and breathe, man, you gotta breathe through your nose. Breathe through your
Oh,
nose. Yeah. Candace Lambert said, let me see. And this is what I'm saying too. Candace Lambert said, let me see if I can put it on.
I love
Said,
Candace too. All you girls are
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. She said governments are run by pedos. They make it where coming forward is futile. The criminal walks free. The courts are there to protect the guilty. Exactly. As you said a couple of weeks ago, Penny, it's the criminals that write the laws. You're gonna write a law to protect yourself. A lot of them. Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, every powerful person has had a little individual with them. Alexander the Great had little boys. Doggone Joseph Smith had a little thing. What 13 or 9 year old. Everyone in power. Something about having power, but also being sexually fulfilled by a young person goes hand in hand. To me, that's kind of sick. But yeah, I mean, yeah,
Well,
it's a criminal like a law.
if you look at the Hebrew stories, look at the Hebrew stories, read them.
Hmm.
They're full of this kind of stuff. I mean, okay, the story of
Hmm.
Lot. I don't think his daughters were very old either. So when his wife is turned to a pillar of salt, then
Hmm.
you know the two girls they're responsible for getting him drunk and doing whatever, having children with him.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
but
sick, man.
but this what this did is just it kind of legalized this kind of behavior in people's minds because it was in the Bible. They didn't think about what it was really all about, nor did they have the education really to even
Hmm.
criticize it.
Hmm.
And so much damage. Look at all the incest that actually happened.
Hmm.
I know even when I was speaking to an elder at the Canadian branch office, he said that they had information articles printed about um, incest. Like, yeah,
Hmm. Yeah,
this
yeah.
thinking
Well,
didn't
yeah, yeah, but
wasn't
I think.
just dreamed up.
Hmm. Well, that's the culture, though. I think a lot of times that's the culture back then. I think the Bible is describing the culture at then. I think even when you talk about pedophilia today, it's not looked upon the same back then. But incest. Even I think the Egyptians did incest to keep it into the family line. I think today we're becoming more, as far as our culture today and what we feel is morally upright, is not the same as they view what 10 or 5,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But we look at we go back at that time, we say that you guys are very brutal, but to them that was very natural. Like even a lot.
But Jumanji, these were these were women and children,
Mm,
women
yeah,
and
yeah,
young women, you know,
yeah, yeah,
and we didn't have a
yeah.
say. They didn't
Uh huh.
have a say, but they still had the same feelings, Jumanji. Even if it was
Exactly.
socially acceptable, they would still feel the same.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm saying that even if you go, like I'm gonna use this. I'm not arguing with you, but I'm just saying that a lot of times when we look at the Bible and any ancient book, we look at through our lens today and not recognize that they were writing what was going on. If we were to go back at the time, the culture at that time would have been a little different than today. And so you might have the same feelings, but unless there's a bunch of people who oppose it, it's normal to you. So it's like if I'm born in a certain condition and that's all I see, it's going to be normal. My sense is going to tell me this is normal, even though it's not right. It's just like Lot and his daughter, man. They did the incest, and I'm not protecting the Bible. I'm just saying that if they wrote another Bible today, I guarantee you the sins of the Bible will be so much different. Like you have polygamy in the Bible. That's acceptable. Today that's not acceptable. Back then it was acceptable. So you
But
say, why did God?
if Jumanji, it's the people that are saying that they're the chosen people that were doing it. So if they're
Exactly.
chosen people doing it and God's okay with it, then
Yeah.
they've just legalized their own.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So that mean they not chosen. That mean they lied. That mean they said they were chosen to get people to follow them to get power. That mean they weren't chosen because yeah, God doesn't change according to the Bible. But if He doesn't change, then His laws and statute wouldn't change. So that means that I can get married to more than one wife. That means my wife couldn't have kids. I'm gonna get a slave and have sex with her because God was cool with that back in the day. God was cool with that back in the day. So why is He not cool today? He was never cool with it. It's just that people wrote it. That's what they was cool with.
But now go back and make a correlation to the charter we just read, the
Hmm.
Watchtower Charter. They've got
Hmm.
Jehovah listed as a governance,
Yeah.
and they use Almighty, good Jehovah,
Hmm.
and Almighty
Hmm.
Jehovah, and and they haven't been clear and straightforward with JWs about who is who and what is this governance and other. I mean, now that you take a look at the charter, then you can go and listen to the governing body members speak when they used and throw that name around like it's an old shoe.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly, exactly. They use that, and as you said, they capitalize it. And it's just I think they use that name because they know it's like a talisman, kind of like a talisman where it believe it has power. It's not real. It's not a name of an individual. It's like a talisman. Like we could put this name on anything and it'd be approved. We use this name for approval.
Hmm.
And so if I say Jehovah approves it, it's all right, even though it's not attached to anything. And so we brainwash these people so much. We
Right.
can say Jehovah, yeah, we can say Jehovah's cool with,
Psychological weapon. It's a weapon.
yeah, yeah. We say Jehovah's cool with you guys drinking urine. This is Jehovah juice. And Jehovah is so brainwashed, they'll sit there and drink urine. Say, you know what? It looks like urine, but this is holy urine. Go to Catholic Church. This is holy water. This ain't no doggone holy. This is water they put in a thing and they just called it holy. It's nothing, man. You so yeah, Jehovah's the name, the talisman they put on it. Anna Twink said, look, Anna Twink said, I think now the members are told. Let me see. I agree with this, Anna Twink. I agree with this so much, man. I think now the members are told who to vote for and don't have much power. The ordinary members, how many are there now? 500, 200? Yeah, they are told because I mean, even when they lobby for when they remember they was writing that petition to wait, I can't think Russia. Didn't they tell the witnesses what to write? All the
Yes.
letters said the same doggone thing. All the millions of letters sent to Russia said the same doggone thing. It's just different handwriting.
So it's
Come on,
Watchtower
man.
dictating what the JWs were doing.
Yeah,
They call it a
yeah,
writing campaign. But you
yeah,
know
yeah.
what? Ex Jehovah's Witnesses can do the same thing. It doesn't matter who is in power. We can
Mhm,
do the same thing. We can write to the members of parliament, the members of provincial, state Congress, the mayors of the town. I'm going to have a meeting
mhm,
with the mayor, as many mayors as I
mhm.
can, and prepare a speech for them. I'm doing it
Yeah.
now. I'm writing a speech, and I'm going to
Mhm,
speak to every single, and I'm going to use um, cite sources like James Penton and other credible experts, like I mentioned in your other
mhm.
video about um, ex JW Fifth, who he interviewed. These are experts, and they
Mhm.
can help us to say what we can build on what other people have said and take a message to the mayors and
Mhm.
the regional councillors if we can. This is the
Yeah.
this is what we can do. Even voting
Yeah.
sometimes we don't always know what because they say one thing and then but whoever is in power doesn't matter who is in power. We can use them
Mhm.
the same way Watchtower did, got us to do at the time.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
you remember
Truthfully,
being
I
a
think no, I'm saying truthfully, I believe that we can do that against the Watchtower, but I think it has to be a reformed system. Like the whole system needs to be reformed, the whole justice system, because in America they don't like to really. They want to stay separate from religion, and they it's kind of hard when even when the way the prison system everything goes. Like when you do a corporation, right? The reason you do a corporation is to separate yourself from the entity. So if somebody gets hurt by your corporation, they can't take your assets from you. The corporation
Mhm.
separates you from your thing. So even if the corporation of Watchdog got in trouble, it separates them from the governing body because they're not the corporation.
Right.
So it protects them. So even if we did go against Watchdog, we have to do reform in the whole system. And I think that here is that's kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? To go against the whole system because in order to get rid of any religion, anything, you have to reform the whole system. It's not just the religion. You know what I'm saying? You have to reform
Yes.
it. Just like yeah, it's kind of like a house that's infested. I can go infested with rats or roaches. I can kill the rats or I can kill the roaches I see. I got to reform that whole house because the house is damaged. And that's what I think the system is. The whole system's damaged. And so we can get rid of one or two religions here, but you have people that come out from that religion and start their own. Kind of like a
Mhm.
what is that? You cut the head off, and another one grows after that. So I mean, we can go against the court. I'm not discrediting anything you're saying. I'm just saying that we go against that. If we say that we chop the watchtower down,
I'm
you
not
have so
even.
many. You have so
Sorry,
many.
if we go even locally to the decision makers instead of going to the Supreme Court because it's hard to. But we can go and have our own personal truth notarized by
Mhm,
a notary public and
mhm,
have that submitted and hand that to the mayor. Why
mhm.
not?
Yeah,
They
exactly.
give out awards for people who live a long time, like who get elderly. They give
Mhm,
awards to the elderly people who have made lifelong achievements and so they also have to know who doesn't live very long and why.
mhm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah. I think the mayor. Sometimes, yeah, and sometimes when we look at the court system, like a lot of times it's local too. Also, sometimes I think somebody said the election of the president. I'm speaking of America. Election of the president is not the real important thing. It's the local elections that most importantly, because America, we live in a republic where you basically vote for those who's going to make the decisions. So when it
Right.
comes to the president, we don't vote for the president. We vote for electoral college, and the electoral college picks the president. So yeah, I think sometimes it's local also. But I'm saying that when we get to Joe Witness, it's so many brainwashed Joe Witness today. You top this religion down, all they're gonna do is still practice it and still come up with something else. So many dissidents and things like that, and so many sects that come out of that, and they just do it again under another name and mask. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think locally is a good idea though, and I think yeah, these people, even the government body, they're protected by the corporation.
I'm going to
Nothing can really
post
happen to them.
I'm going to post a link here to Justice McClellan's video
Hmm.
or the Royal Commission YouTube video. Oh, it's not posting. I'm trying to, but anyways, I'll put it on because you can use that as criteria. He
Hmm.
his words and terminology, you can adopt it into your own vocabulary, and
Hmm.
then then you can know that you're saying the right thing.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do also is um, in the comments section later, if I can't post it now, I don't know why, but I'll put a few links that um, can be researched that I found to be helpful.
Hmm.
It doesn't take too many of us. Actually, I just remembered hearing from Roberto Angeles. He's an author,
Uh huh.
and he was part of a cult in
Yeah.
Eastern Europe, I think. Lost his children, because of the indoctrination when he came out. And now
Hmm.
he's printed, I mean, he's published a book. It's now in the Waterloo University in Canada. And that, and
Hmm.
he's also been asked to, I'll put a link to him as well in his book. It's called
Okay.
Lara's Law. And he's been
Hmm.
asked to sit on the board of directors of like a royal commission in Canada. It's coming,
Okay.
and it's building a momentum. This collective consciousness is building momentum, and the more that we all think about these things and talk about it, it builds more power to um, a direction that will make changes. We may not get redress. We may,
Hmm.
but in any event, we're reversing the damage that we did when we were blindly and um, ignorantly um, knocking on people's doors.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta start somewhere. That's the whole somewhere. And
Hmm.
I'm not saying don't do nothing. We always gotta start somewhere. That's the whole thing. It takes a start, and I think the warrior
All kinds of things that we can do. Um,
yeah. Yeah.
If if you don't have uh, anything to anything to lose by speaking candidly to just anybody in the
Hmm.
bank or in the grocery store or whatever, we have to do
Hmm.
exactly what we did when we were child slaves.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, we can I mean if we do a 5013C corporation to expose coats, we can
Can
do that
so
too.
are you suggesting that five or ten of us could um, register a 501c3? Is this what you're
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
Jumanji?
Yeah. You only one person can register. You just got to have a you have a charter and things like that. And even you get grants from the government. The government can give a 501(c) a grant. Um, it's a lot of different things, but you know,
But then
hold on.
you'd have to play by their terms.
No, not necessarily. You have to do things legally, but I mean, you still any money you get, it wouldn't have to go into taxes, things like that. Like if I, one of the benefits, if I use my house as something that I'm using for the 501(c), I ain't gotta pay taxes on my house.
So what if these kingdom halls that go up for onto the go up into sale, they go onto the
Mhm,
market for resale.
mhm.
They've already been paid for, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they've been signed over to the watchtower. So what's to stop um, you know several of us from contacting the real estate agent where they're listed and telling them what kind of an organization that was, and do they, that's, and
Hmm.
just say the facts.
Yeah. That's a good idea. But yeah, I'm not trying to be a contrarian, but you think a real estate agent when she gonna make money, she really worry about where she buying from? Because she finna make like money. Like you think she if you tell her she gonna say, oh well, what, in that case I don't wanna because that's how she put food on the table.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
what you're doing is you're just using the contacts that you
Yeah,
know will
yeah,
be
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I
You've
got you.
got
Yeah.
people to spread the word. That's what mainly I'm
Yeah, yeah.
saying.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I
Maybe she
got you.
doesn't care. Maybe she does want to make money.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
she's going to get a kickback. Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah, exactly.
But
Exactly.
at
It's
least
spreading
you're
the word. Yeah.
barking at a in a direction that's going to be heard. And she knows a lot of
Yeah.
people. And if she becomes disillusioned and appalled by what you say, then it's going to
Yeah.
go around. The
Yeah.
word is going to
Every
go
time she see
around.
yeah, every time she see a Kingdom Hall, it'll make her sick to her stomach. Let me show you something, Penny, real quick. This is interesting, man. Let me show you something. This is how the watchtower. I don't get. Hold on, let me show you something real quick, Penny. I
Hmm.
want to show you something because this is crazy, man. It might not be that crazy. I just want to show you what this is because um nobody's benefiting from the corporation. I mean, even good paid. You don't get paid from the watchtower. You giving your time and effort and things like that. Even these other 501, you get paid by these things. But anyway, let me show you. Let me show you the benefits of being a 501(c), and it's going to apply to the Russia thing, right? Let me show you this.
Okay.
Um, a benefit of becoming a 501(c), federal state corporate tax, discount on postal bulk mail rates. Now, when they was sending them letters to Russia, did that benefit the witnesses, or they had to buy their own?
Oh yeah. So everybody did their own thing, right? Hmm.
Yeah, and you had to buy a special stamp because it was going international. So the Watchtower gets discounts on postal mail rates because if I 13C, anyone else who's sending letters, like they're doing letter writing,
Yeah.
they don't get that benefit. Yeah, they don't get that benefit. That's what I'm saying. Like, stuff like that. It's no reason if
Well,
no one's
yes, the
benefiting.
gas that people put in their cars, nobody's getting money
Yeah,
for gas. They're pay
yeah,
out of
exactly.
pocket slaves.
Yeah,
They're pay out of pocket slaves. They're paying to
yeah, that's
slave.
crazy. Yeah, crazy, man. So yeah, we all should know. almost 2 o'clock, 2 hours. So I'm gonna let you get the last word in. Not sure who's still in here, but I want to thank everybody
Yes,
and the
thank
host
you.
was informative. Penny was putting out that fire today, man. She let y'all know what the about, man. And spread this word, man. I hope you guys got the link with different ones, witnesses what the charter is, and that chart lie. That charter is bullshit. It's not real. It's fake.
But
So
but
I'm gonna
it
let you get
is registered in the it's registered in the courts, so
yeah,
it was true and real at the time. However, it's been
yeah,
amended
yeah. No, I'm saying
since.
yeah. No, I'm saying that they're not living up to it. They lied as to the purpose
Oh, I
of
see.
the corporation. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'll give you last word, Penny. Go ahead. Yeah, let
Um,
um.
Again, I like you. I'd like to thank everybody for their contribution, and that you know uh, it just takes looking at what has been already documented in law and in whatever's been put in writing. That is what Watchtower will go by. Jehovah's Witnesses don't know. You can't expect them to know, but we can go around behind and do what we can, how we can, and encourage other people to put in the time. Uh, we we put in big time when we were young and uh, didn't know any better, and even older when we didn't know any better. Some of us even have children that we've lost a proper relationship with, and the time that we put in then is what we need to put in equally as much to make the facts known. So I think that's probably about it, Jumanji. Again, thank you for letting me come on.
Okay. All righty, man. Yeah, yeah. So thank you all, Latanya, Twink, Swindler. Let's say Swindler, Kim F. All you guys. I thank you guys for listening, man. Share the video if you want to, but more importantly, man, keep doing your research. Enjoy your life. You only get one. You know what I'm saying? Don't waste it on somebody else's vision. Do what you need to do to fulfill your goal, man.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. We are out.
Be
All
well,
right.
Jumanji.
I'll talk to
Be
you.
well,
You
everybody.
too. Hey, bye.